Hello, everyone. This is Geoffrey Dohrmann. I'm Chairman and CEO of Institutional Real Estate, Inc. And welcome to this brief update of fundraising activity during the first quarter of 2022, based on data supplied by Institutional Real Estate, Inc.'s proprietary IREI database. Before we get started, I should note that these statistics understate actual total capital commitments during the quarter, as they only reflect capital raised by closed-end funds holding final closings during the quarter, and exclude net capital flows or net commitments and redemption queues from open-end funds. If you're interested in data on the status of open-end fund commitments, you'll want to check out our quarterly Odyssey Fund updates, which we produce each quarter in collaboration with Garrett Zadolchek and his team at IDR. Garrett is the portfolio manager for IDR's institutional and 40 Act Odyssey Index funds. And you'll find video recordings of these live webinars posted to our website at IREI.com under the videos and audio podcast section. We also should note that IREI data does not include net commitments to or liquidated property holdings from separate accounts, which together with open-end funds and direct property holdings held by institutions represent the lion's share of core and core plus real estate holdings. So really what we're looking at here are a smattering of core offerings and most of the value-added and opportunistic and blended closed-end fund offerings in the market. What this data does do is present a fairly accurate and reliable picture of how much money was raised by closed-end fund offerings that closed during the quarter, as well as the number of new funds launched during the quarter and how much they collectively are seeking to raise. So let's dive into the data. The bottom line here is that this quarter is that after a record-breaking fourth quarter fundraising activity for closed-end fund offerings actually declined over prior periods for the first time in several quarters. 36 funds closed, raising a total of $27.1 billion. This was on par for typical first quarter fundraising activity over the past 10 years, however, so nothing really extraordinary to note here. 8 of these funds were mega funds, however, funds with 1 billion or more in AUM, collectively accounting for roughly 55% of the total capital raised by funds closing during the quarter. That's not uncommon either over the past prior periods. Mega funds have been scooping up the lion's share of the capital. The largest of these mega funds to close was the GLP Japan Development Partners 4 Fund, which raised $3.7 billion for investment in modern and environmentally friendly logistics properties in Japan with a focus on the specific markets of Tokyo and Osaka. 48.62% of the capital raised was earmarked for investments in North American property markets, another 22.92% for investment in European property markets, with the remainder split fairly evenly between the Asia Pacific property markets and funds targeting multiple regions around the globe. Value-added fund offerings attracted the most capital, followed by funds with opportunistic and blended investment styles. Meanwhile, 47 new investment funds seeking to raise in aggregate a total of $33.2 billion were launched during the first quarter of 2022, keeping the total number of funds currently in the marketplace at well over 1,000 funds. The largest of these, Aquila Capital's Southern European Logistics Fund, is hoping to raise upwards of 1.5 billion euros for investment in real property, or $1.7 billion in US dollars. 24 of these new funds were focusing on property markets in the Americas, collectively seeking to raise 15 billion, or 45% of the total amount offered by new offerings. 14 funds were focused on European property markets, seeking to raise 12.3 billion. So together, funds focusing on the Americas and Europe collectively accounted for more than 82% of the funds on offer. Only 4 new funds were added targeting Asia Pacific markets, and those funds collectively were seeking to raise an additional 2.96 billion. So if you're interested in getting a complete list of the funds closed and launched during the quarter, as well as charts and graphs summarizing and analyzing this data, plus additional statistics to shed light on the quarter's fundraising trends, visit the IREI website and download the full report, which was sponsored by Juniper Square. You'll find this and earlier reports in the resource sector of our website from the homepage. So thanks for tuning in. Hope this has been helpful to give you an idea about how funds are flowing in the marketplace. See you next quarter when we present the fundraising updates for the second quarter of 2022, which closes next month, June 30. Have a great month. Take care, everybody.